Going on, everyone? Maze here, back with another video. Forza Motorsport today. We got a 30-minute race in, I believe this is GT3 on Sebring. It's gonna be pretty interesting. I know it's 30 minutes of your time, but honestly the whole race was pretty tight, so I'm gonna be driving the Bentley, and if you can tell, I have some sinus, congestion. I'm trying to get over this cold I've had for like a month. But yeah, let's see what we can do. Starting in 17th out of 18th, I didn't qualify. Seeing what I can do from the back of the pack. So let's see what we can do. Alright, taking off on the grid here, starting on the soft tire compound, going for the triple soft. Just hoping not to die. Going into turn one. And, oh, jeez. Almost get taken out, but we're able to gather it up. And what do we gain? 6-7 positions there? Oh boy, did I really just say that? Oh my god, I didn't even mean to say that. Oh goodness. Yeah, go ahead and flame me in the comments for that. But look at us now. We're back up to, or not back up, we are up to, for the first time, 4th place. After, what is that, 3 corners, 4 corners? So already making good time here. Heavy on the brakes. Holding the inside, give them some space, and power out. The Bentley's got a lot of corner exit, man. It just takes off once it grips up. So this is going to be obviously a bit of a lengthy race, but most of the time I try to keep the 20-minute races on my channel. But man, this race was just too good, as you'll see in a little bit. If you stay for the whole race, it was just too good to pass up. So PRM Tay, is that how you pronounce it, is behind me. And that's a name you're probably going to want to remember. I'm just going to call him Tay, I guess, or her, I don't know. But we're just going to refer to them as Tay. Good exit there, heading down the back straight, get another pass done, and we are in 2nd place before we even make it to the start-finish line on the first lap. I'd say that's a pretty good start. Also, I'm sorry that the track looks like a Christmas tree with all these lights and the track limit indicator and all that stuff. I just was trying to do some rivals, which I normally do on my other account, but I happen to be doing some rivals on this account earlier, so they might stay on. Actually, I kind of like it, but yeah, if it bugs you, I'm sorry. I'm trying to make a move on Slaps Vela. Making sure I carry as much speed as possible on this exit. Let's see if I can pull on them here. When you're doing the triple softs, you kind of have to get out in front as quickly as possible and get away, because you obviously have an extra stop. So get the pass done there. As I'm explaining the triple soft situation. But yeah, triple softs is just get out in front, stay in front, and then try your best to create a gap, because you do have that that extra stop that's going to pull you back a little bit. So in order for it to work, you really have to be able to pull away a decent amount. And I don't know who's on softs here. I think Tay's on softs as well. I don't know if Slaps Vela is, but I would assume so, considering we're 5 seconds ahead of my buddy Arrow in 4th. So yeah, you just kind of want to get out in front as far as you can, and that should help you be able to make the triple softs work. If you can't do that, you're better off going medium, or you can try to do or medium hard, sorry, or medium soft. But at that point, the softs will wear pretty heavily, but at that point, if you're doing 3 stops, or 2 stops rather, you might as well be on the softs. So I would try to do medium or medium hard if you can't, deal with the car being on worn tires. Alright, going into the first corner, I'm gonna hit the inside wall there. No harm, no foul. Forza didn't even register I hit it, so we'll take it. Oh, getting a little squirrely into slaps fella. Nothing wrong on his part, I just lost the car. So I'm gonna tell him sorry for that as I exit this corner. And we both kind of did that at the same time. So stand-up guy there, I think there's really no way he could have done anything wrong, but he still felt like he needed to say that, which is, just kind of making sure he knows, or I know that he was sorry if he had any part in that, which is really nice of him. Tay has moved up into first now. I really hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I'm probably not. And we're back into third because of our little kerfluffle that we had a few corners ago. But we're still here. We're still in reach. My main aim now is to stay up with these two cars in this top three as close as I possibly can. At this point, I'm pretty certain these guys are on softs, and I know that my buddy isn't behind me and nobody's ahead of him. So I'm pretty confident in our strategy here at this point. So I'm just trying to stay close, trying to make sure that I don't let them pull away, which Tay is kind of pulling away now. So I gotta make sure I get up there and don't let him get away, or her. I'm gonna refer to Tay as a him. So sorry, Tay, if you're not. Heavy on the brakes, trying to get the job done on second place there. And we get a decent exit here. Almost going into the barrier. Okay. On the edge the whole time if you want to be fast, So, gotta be on the edge. See if we can catch up to Tay. I kind of noticed that as the race goes on, you'll see this. I had the better end of the stint, and during the beginning we were kind of even, but towards the middle of the stint he was better. Tay was better, so it was like even for the first couple of laps, and then the third and fourth lap maybe were Tay's strong suit, and then the last like fifth and sixth lap, or fifth lap, because we're doing triple fives, I had the better opportunity. I guess it's because of the tire wear for the Audi. But you would think that the Bentley would have more wear, consider it spins a little bit more. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. But that's what I noticed as this race played out. As you can see, just it's a little squirrely on the exit. I am running no rear arrow. I tend to do that, kind of the meta. Full front arrow, no rear arrow. And kind of tune the car around that. Because it's the gains you get in the straight line, and also the turn-in response you're able to have with no rear arrow on corner entry is just worth tuning around to me. So yeah, no rear arrow, but obviously you do have to kind of fight the car a little bit, and your throttle control has to be fairly in place to be able to handle it on the exit. Just checking my tires out, we're at about 55%. In my head I'm thinking, I gotta go 5.55. Let's just make sure that's gonna work and see where I'm gonna end up at the end of 5 laps. Go a little too deep into that. What is that called? Is that called sunset? I'm pretty sure. Anyways, maybe it's not. Went a little deep, and probably because I was distracted by the menu looking at the tires, which, guys, I can't even talk or have a conversation with people when I'm racing. I just can't multitask like that when I'm doing this. We're still catching though. This is what I noticed, is I'm messing up a little bit and having some issues spinning out of corners on corner exit, but I'm still hanging out with Tay pretty closely here. And as you look up to the delta on the left, I am gaining. For the first 4 laps there, as I saw him kind of pull away on lap 2 or 3, I was getting a little worried. I was like, this may be a feat that I am not ready for here, and he's just going to pull away. But as you can see now, I'm down to half a second And that's kind of how the structure of the race went. Just kind of the tail of the stint was in my favor for each stint here on the softs. So right up on the rear bumper now. Now I'm feeling a little more confident, because if you have any sort of advantage during the stint, at the end of the stint is probably the most favorable, correct? Well, I mean, would I be correct on that? So at least that's what I would want. It's kind of what matters the most. Yeah, look at him getting a little squirrely there. We just nip up the outside without having to get out of the throttle. We're going to get the job done on the back straight, but I'm going to have to hold him off here. Now that I know his tires are fairly worn, I mean, obviously mine are too, but he seems to be struggling quite a bit. I just get the severe tire wear notification as I enter the braking zone, which is honestly brutal. Watch this, watch this. We both got to go into the pits. We're sliding and drifting around. Are we going to make it? Are we going to make it? Oh my goodness. Oh man. When that happened during the race, I was like, oh my god, I'm not going to lift. I'm not going to lift. Yeah, luckily we pull through. And both quote-unquote safely make it into the pits. And now I know this is a good race. We've got a fight on our hands here, and this is going to be interesting. So yeah, I was pretty hype at this point. Alright, as we come out of the pit exit onto the track here, we're in 7th place, and we got about 22 seconds to my buddy Arrow 592. I'm pretty sure he was trying to do the medium. I'm not quite sure if I remember correctly, but that's what I would bet on. So just one stop for him. Stretching his tires just a little bit on the mediums. That would be 8 and 7. And we are doing 5.55. So now my main goal is just get away as far as I can from Tay. I keep looking at his name, trying to figure out a different way to pronounce it, and I just don't even want to try. So I'm probably butchering that once again. So if you're watching this, brother, send me a message, let me know how to say it so I can say it properly. Or if you don't want to do that, I apologize if I am messing it up. We're still stuck right around 0.7 seconds in front of Tay here. Once again, just trying to keep myself cool and composed and don't make any silly mistakes, don't get any penalties here, as he just gets one there for a total of 0.6. So that's always good, and he gets another one for going off track for a total of 1.4. So that's good to know for us. I personally don't like winning on penalty advantage, especially when you've got someone that's obviously skilled like PRM Tay behind me. I just want it to be a clean, fun, and fair race. But Forza is Forza, so. Not taking T1 as well as I'd like. Somebody's off and just throwing those, what are they called? Banners, I guess? Signs? They're just throwing them out like it's, candy all over the track. Tay is starting to catch up with me now, down to 0.4. So man, I knew that at this point, this is where his car kind of just takes off in this stint. So I'm like, man, if I can just keep him behind me, I'm not gonna hold him too much. I'm not gonna just block and defend like crazy, but if I can keep him behind me as well as possible, or as much as possible, then I have the best shot, of being in front at the end of the stint. And we're coming up on some, I don't want to call it lap traffic, because technically it's not, but these guys haven't pit yet. So it's going to make things a little interesting for sure. I'll tell you, it's right on my ass. Perfect timing for Tay to catch up, and then me be right here, and I'm going to try to nip up the inside, and this guy's just braking super early. Maybe his tires are pretty worn. I don't know if that's my fault or not. It probably is. I just did not expect that. Maybe just a racing deal. I'm not sure. That's going to allow Tay to go ahead and take that position from us. As we pull into the draft, heavy on the brakes. Trying to go cut it very, very close to the inside, and he defends very well. So once again, we're in a pursuit of what is technically first place. Now we're on lap 8, so towards the end of this lap and starting lap 9, we should have some sort of advantage tire-wise. Although our tires will be cooked, no doubt, we still will have some sort of advantage, or we should, you know, considering the first stint and how that played out. I just barely got on the grass there. Probably just slowed me down just a little bit, which every little bit counts. Trying to be as smooth as possible. Get a pretty good exit there. But still, he's able to pull away, man. Into first for a split second there. Up to second, up to third, up to fourth. Those two corners going left, it's really easy for your car to get upset and spin and get you a little off kilter there. And it's hard to be smooth. Throttle control is really important. Upshifting faster is really important to keep, you know, if you go into a higher gear, it kind of keeps the car planted a little more because you're not at peak power, or you probably wouldn't be at peak power. It's an effort to do that at least, and kind of keep the car a little more stable. Alright, going on the back straight here, going to see if I can get a little bit of a toe from the draft. We're pulling just slightly here, and now diving into the last corner. Once again, heavy on the brakes, trying to cut it inside, right up on the rear bumper. Okay, so now at the start of lap 9 here, we're hoping, in theory, we should be able to be a little bit quicker here. Because as you can see on my screen, the tire wear is still not at minor wear on any of my tires, and I would assume what's happening right now is Tay is starting to hit minor tire wear. So it'll give us a little bit of an advantage here. Does a really good job there, exiting really nicely, and I'm trying to follow the line. Heavy on the brakes into the hairpin. Exiting very well. I've come to really be able to get the power down in the Bentley in that corner, and maybe take a little bit of grass and for a straighter exit on the left there. And we're still just fighting tooth and nail to be as smooth as possible. I can see his car get a little squirrely there on the exit of that corner and throughout the middle of the corner, so I'm thinking, yeah, I've got a little bit of an advantage here. My tires are still good. Just gotta stay close and take the opportunity when it comes. Just hitting minor tire wear as we navigate the last few corners up to the back straight. Tay's still able to hold on very well. So, you know, I just gotta stay in the toe range. Keep getting a draft here on the back straight. I think I was a little better on the brakes here than he was, as I'm having to kind of feather the brakes to stay off of a mid-corner. As we start lap 10, coming up right here in a second, I'm looking to try to make a pass. I'm looking to see, okay, can the first stint be repeatable? Can I just, you know, for all 3 stints, can I just hang out until the last lap and make a pass as the tire wear, you know, increases? Because then that would, you know, obviously be a win at the end of the race. So just trying to stay smooth, not spin the tires too much. As I can see, he's fighting it now, really fighting it at this point. much closer than I have been the last couple of laps of the exit of that corner going down to the hairpin. I don't know which way he's going to go, so I'm going to try to dip on the outside. Maybe get a little cut back here. And he's just going to defend it really nicely. Still right on the rear bumper. Still right in his wheelhouse there. Oh, I don't know if I did that or not, but come off with the rear bumper there a little bit. Just give him some space. I definitely don't want to wreck him. Trying to find the ideal line. At this point, my car is taking the corners quite a bit better. I think I'm pushing him right now. Yeah, I am. I love how I just looked to the side as soon as I said that, because this is pre-recorded, but that was pretty funny. But yeah, my car was a lot better on the last lap, it seemed, and you know, if he wasn't in front of me, I definitely could have taken, like right here, I could have gotten on the gas a lot earlier, but I don't want to push him, I don't want to wreck him. We're going to see if we can pull a last lap move here for the stint as we head into the final stint, going into pit road after this corner here. Heavy on the brakes. I got to get down to the inside so I can cut off any line he has. I'm just going to try to nurse it around, drift it around into the pit road. We're not going to have this quite as exciting entry into pit road this stint, but still, nonetheless, my theory is working out. At the end of each stint, I'm able to make the pass going down the back straight or somewhere close to the end of the lap and hold on to it. So those are my thoughts now for this last stint. It seems like it's working out. Everything's going to plan. All I have to do is just drive, make no mistakes, keep them to a minimum at least. No penalties. Heat up the tires a little bit as I exit out the pit road. Once again, 0.7 ahead, just like last time. We've got some traffic right ahead. I say traffic, but technically this guy is on the lead lap. Assuming he is not on the soft tires, we are probably going to make light work of second place here. Arrow is in a comfortable lead at the moment with 12 seconds. Not quite sure how his tires are looking, but we're going to see what happens here as we run out these last 5 laps. Tay gets another penalty there. Obviously not the worst one in the world as a 0.1, but now he's up to 2 seconds of penalty time, so that's good news for us, I guess. But what a nice move on the outside there. No contact being made as we take P2. Now Tay has to get past him, but he makes light work of him too, so I was kind of hoping maybe that car would hold him up a little bit. Was not the case, as now he is increasingly closing the gap rapidly. And all I can do now is, you know, just try to keep my head on straight and not focus about that time delta too much. Just drive the car. Focus on making sure, you know, I'm keeping it smooth, not overdriving just because I'm trying to get away. It's really hard to do that when you know this lap and the next lap coming up are person behind you's strong suit, where their car is the strongest. You know, you got an opportunity to get away here. You really need to try. So that's what we're going to try to do, but keeping in mind not overdriving the car. Easy on the gas, going over that little curb there. Upshifting to third quite quickly there to try to keep the car from spinning, but so much. Still, he's gaining on us. 0.6 to 0.5 on the time delta there. Heavy on the brakes once again into the braking zone for the hairpin. Nice smooth exit there. Still, can't get away from him. You just cannot get away from him. Seems Arrow went into the pits again. I just noticed that. So maybe it was a 2-stop for him. maybe medium soft, I'm not sure. But at that point, you know, if you're gonna do a triple stint, you know, 2 pit stop, you know, starting on 1 tire, pitting, and then pitting again for a total of 3 sets of tires, you might as well get on the softs. There's really no reason to try and do mediums. You know, you might as well take advantage of the fastest tire, in my opinion. If it's possible, of course. Tay is still catching us, slowly but surely now. Oh, what a rapid increase there. 0.2 from 0.4 back, 0.5 nearly. And now he's going to have the toe. Probably going to try to go up the inside here. He thinks better of it. Maybe didn't have as big of a run as he needed. I got to close off the inside. And I get a terrible exit doing so. And try to get a little side draft here, pull him back a little bit. And I just can't do it. So now we are finding ourselves in 2nd place again. Trying to get a late apex here, get some exit speed coming up to these couple of corners. And this race, honestly, it was just nice, clean, hard-fought battle. I mean, I say it all the time in all my videos because most of the time those are the videos I post, but it's just hard to find, you know? It's hard to find just a random online race where you get someone that's close to your skill level and you just have a good, nice, clean race. Obviously, it's apparent we both respect each other and we both want to win in the right way. So it's honestly really cool to be a part of stuff like that every once in a while. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's really fun. Try to make the most of it here. You want to win, you know? You want to win all of them, but especially ones like these, because it feels like, you know, you're not in front the whole time, you know, just hanging out by yourself for 30 minutes or 20 minutes or however long. You know, you're actually racing the whole time. You actually have to be on your toes. You actually have to, you know, try really hard to make something happen here, and it just makes it all worthwhile in the end if you are able to pull out a win. But he's pulling away from us right now fairly well, which lines up with our theory once again. This is how it's gone the whole race. So I'm just looking for lap 14, which we're about to pull up to now. I'm in the toe, getting a little bit of a pull there up to the bumper. Not really as much as I would like. Spinning quite a bit coming out of that exit. He just has a lot more exit speed somehow. I guess because the car is mid-engine, you can put down the power quite a bit better. But once the Bentley gets straight and hooked up, it does take off, but it doesn't have that benefit of the weight on the rear axle like the Audi does. We're still staying where we need to be, though. We're still not letting him pull away too far. A little squirrely there, off track. Am I going to get a pin for that? Luckily, we do not get a penalty. But we go off track once again. And we do get a penalty, which arguably makes no sense compared to the other one. Kind of should be flip-flopped, in my opinion. But nonetheless, we have a penalty. And Tay is actually pulling away on lap 14. What is this, lap 4 of this stint? Which did not make sense to me. At this point, I'm kind of like, okay, what is going on, you know? Like, I'm not driving any differently aside from the little hiccup I had at the beginning of this lap. You know, the last 2 stints on lap 4, I was able to at least stay really close. Right now, he's up to almost a second ahead. So I'm kind of getting a little worried at this point. What are we going to do here? You know, like, what's going on? I mean, it's really easy when you see stuff like that, just with all the stuff we know from the history of the race in our head too, to overdrive the car. It's so easy to just push a little bit harder when that can actually make you slower. Smooth is fast, you know what I mean? So sometimes you have to go quote unquote slower to be smoother, but you're actually faster. It's hard to do that, I'll be honest. Well, we're going to see what we can do on the last lap here. He's already got a great exit and up to almost 0.9. Will we see 0.9 on the Delta here? not quite going into turn 1. 0.7. Oh, now we're at 0.9. Just a great exit by him. I don't understand what's happening at this point, you know? It's the last lap. Every stint, he's just been very wishy-washy with the car, fishtailing, and not able to keep the tires up under him, and now I'm getting a little worried about it. I don't know what's happened, if he pulled a fast one on me or what. Got in my head, played some mind games, but at this point I'm just like, man, there's nothing I can do. And as you can see, I'm overdriving the car too deep into the hairpin. Really easy to make mistakes. I'm going off track. Luckily it's a small penalty, but now we're over a second back, so we got some work to do in about half a lap if we want to pull out the win here without the penalties involved per se. Yeah, it's just a really tough feat when the tires get this bad, but it is part of the triple soft strategy. I think it makes things more interesting for me, at least. Most of the time I am just bored, doing the same thing over and over again. Kind of makes it more exciting. Coming off the exit onto the final time on the back straight. And we are 0.7 down. I'm gonna have to make some sort of move into this hairpin, or this last corner here. Not necessarily a hairpin, I guess. I'm trying to cut it very close and get a good exit, and my tires hit severe just as I'm coming midway through that corner. Give him the good race notification. He gives it back. Solid race. If there were no penalties, I would have finished in second place. But because of the penalties, we're going to pull out of first place. Those lap times are pretty solid too. 57.9, 57.5. Great time by him in the Audi. But yeah, that's going to do it for this race. We've got plenty more coming. So if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe if you like these videos. I've also got some Modern Warfare 2, old school Modern Warfare 2 content, rematch, a few more games I'm playing, NHL. If you guys like any of that content, go ahead and subscribe. Give me a like, and we'll see you next time. I'm gonna message this guy, I guess, and tell him good race. But yeah, GG's.